What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is your review for The Retreat, Season 1, Episode 2. So, look, first of all, before I even get into this, a couple of things to say. First of all, shouts out to Reese G and Ariel O'Hare for shooting out. Y'all didn't shoot out nothing. You shouted out the Justice League. And for those who don't know who the Justice League is a conglomerate of reviewers that Chase and Dallas sort of brought us together last season. We did interviews and reviews and panels and stuff like that together, supporting supporting each other. And so I want to appreciate, I want to just shout out that Reese G mentioned us on the live last week. So did Ariel O'Hare mention us on the live last week. And let me just say this, y'all, I don't know what's gonna happen tonight, but I know last week, after the show, say after the party is the after party, and then after the party is listen, it went down last night. Last Thursday night, Reese, y'all had me up. It went down, all the way down. Okay, so y'all make sure that y'all are subscribed to Chasing Reality, so y'all can see what had happened after the show, because it's a whole nother show after the show. Ariel O'Hare. Ariel, you are my spirit animal. When I say you was giving me so much life in this episode, girl, I was loving it. Okay, all right, let's get into it. So the episode picks up after the whole confrontation between Trey Howard and shouts out to Trey Howard, who came and did an interview with the Justice League on Saturday night. I couldn't make the interview because I had a prior engagement, but I want to shout it out. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming through and giving us some wisdom, honey. All right, so we had Dior, Ariel, and Trey was sort of outside talking about what happened with Dre Simber. We had Dre Simber and the rest of the folks inside sort of talking about what happened. And then we have our host who gonna line up the chakras. Now listen, I know what chakras are. I have heard of chakras before. I don't understand how they work, and I don't understand. I've heard people always say my chakras are aligned, or my chakras are out of line, but I never knew how to line them up. And so we saw an exercise today on this episode. There's 7 chakras, I believe it is, and the host said he gonna focus on each chakra for a different person, because of the area that they kind of need some realigning. And he explained each chakra and why that person needed it. I'm not going through that whole list. And I'm gonna tell you part of the reason why I ain't going through the whole list, because they ain't finished the damn exercise. So ain't nothing get realigned, because they ain't do it. They ain't get a chance to do it. Here's the thing. You've been in the house all day with people getting drunk. That is probably not the best time to decide to have a serious conversation about lining up people's chakras. Now, the exercise started off pretty decent, okay? People were talking, people were opening up, and then Ariel was drunk and being silly. She had the giggles. She couldn't keep it serious, keep herself straight. And then Dre Simber was being Dre Simber, and he sort of, kind of was acting up a little bit. And Reese goes off. Now, I do agree with Dre Simber a little bit when he said, listen, everybody else was in here cutting up, but when I cut up, now all of a sudden it's a problem, because Reese really went off on Dre Simber. Like, he really did. He had a moment outside. He sort of got himself together, and he did kind of come back around and apologize to Dre Simber. And he said, listen, I'm really just trying to take this seriously, because I'm really trying to get something out of this. Like, I'm really trying to figure out what it is about me and why I can't seem to get things together. I've been accused of a lot of things. I've been a part of a lot of things. I've got unsuccessful friendships and relationships, and I'm really, really trying to figure it out. So he got really upset, and then he ended up going to his room. Ariel went in there to go talk to him. Listen, Ariel in her confessional was like, listen, I don't know what's going on with my good sis, but I need to go find out, because she is mad. And I don't know if she mad at me, mad at the situation. I don't know if she mad because they was fighting earlier, but she is mad. And so I need to go check on her. So Ariel goes to talk to Reese, and Reese lets her know, listen, I'm just really, really trying to be in a better space. I'm really trying to be a better person. I've got a lot going on, a lot in my personal life that is just weighing on me. And Trey Womack comes up. He said the situation with Trey Womack is really bothering me. Now, let me say this. I have heard rumors and rumblings, and so I try my best not to bring outside things into my reviews. So I'm going to keep it to what's on the screen. I'm not going to talk about what I heard in the streets. I'm going to just say what I'm seeing on the screen. And all I'm going to say is I ain't seen Trey Womack yet. So I don't know what the Trey Womack situation is. I don't know what he mad about, upset about, or dealing with when it comes to Trey Womack. But all I know is Trey Womack name came up a couple of times in this episode. And I feel like it's going to keep coming up. So we'll get to that later. And Reese was saying something about you're my only friend, and Ariel was like, that is not true. Trey Howard loves you, Dior loves you. And just as she was saying that, Dior came to check on Reese, and she was like, see, this is what I'm saying, like, you're not the only, like, you have friends, like, people love you, you have friends. And then Trey came in there, and Dior, and Ariel was like, see, look, we love you, we are coming in here to check on you, we absolutely love you. But it definitely looked like Reese was having a whole meltdown moment. He said he just got a lot going on, and he was just having a moment. So everybody goes to bed. The next morning, Trey Howard gets up. He cooks breakfast for everybody, and actually, let me rewind. Let me rewind. Something had, because they did a little flashback. Okay, they did a little flashback that something had gone down. A couple of weeks prior, as it relates to Eric and the infamous Robert. Now, I say the infamous Robert, for y'all who didn't follow the after show drama last week, y'all are like, Robert? Who is Robert? I don't know Robert. But for those of us who followed the after show drama last week, we know who the fuck Robert is, okay? We know exactly who Robert is. And Robert, I like you, Robert. I don't know if you're going to look at this or not, but Robert, I like you. So, a couple of weeks prior, there was a ball. And Reese, Trey Howard, Eric, Ariel O'Hare were at the ball. And Robert was at the ball as well. Now, Dior wasn't there, I don't believe. Or if he was inside. But I don't think Dior was there. At least he didn't film. And what we found out was, Eric made a comment about Robert. Eric said, in all my years, I ain't never met a nail tech with a grill. So here's the problem, Eric. Because Eric kept saying, well, I'm just telling the truth. Although you were telling the truth, it was still a shady comment. Both those things can be mutually, like, exclusive and still be true at the same time. You can make a shady comment. That's a fact. It's still shady. It's still a shady comment, but it's a fact. Anyway, I was going to give an example, but I feel like y'all got what I'm saying. The other problem, Eric, is you made that comment around his friends. So what we found out is that Robert and Dior are brothers. Probably not real life brothers, but brothers in the family brothers type of thing. We know that Trey Howard is Dior's child, which Robert is uncle. And we know that Ariel O'Hare is like Dior's sister, which means that that's her brother, okay? So you made the shady comment around people who are friends with this person. And Reese's friends with Robert as well, or knows Robert through them, I believe. So you're making a shady comment around the wrong people. Now, had you said that around people who didn't really know Robert or didn't have a connection to Robert, it would have been a kiki, it would have rolled off, and it probably wouldn't even been that serious. But, of course, immediately, Trey Howard is like, oh, really? Would you want to say that to his face? Because I feel like that's something you need to say to his face. And again, he's saying that because he knows Robert. So for him, it's like, you're talking about my uncle. They're at a ball. Now let me say this. Okay, hold on. Let me do my little PSA for a quick second. Reese G, come down to the front. Come on. Come down to the front, Reese G. Right here. Why the fuck you ain't had no mask on when you went back into that ball? Here's the reality of the situation. Y'all was filming during COVID. And although I understand that probably for the purposes of filming, all of y'all got tested. And so when y'all are in y'all scenes, y'all don't have a mask on. I can respect that and I'm okay with that. But when you took your happy ass back into that ball around all them people, why the fuck you ain't had no mask on, Reese? I'm gonna come down to Dallas and I'm gonna pop you, okay? I'm gonna pop you. Now, Robert, you ain't had no mask on either. You was inside the ball and he was walking. I want to see you walk, Robert. I want to see you walk. Walk to me. Come over here. Let me talk to you. Let me see you walk. Walk. Okay, I'm sorry. So they end up bringing Robert outside, and Trey Howard was being messy. He knew he was being messy. He said he was being the bone collector, and he let Robert know that Eric had made the little comments, right? And, you know, Robert's thing was, okay, say it to me. Keep that same energy. Now, when you see Robert, you know what I'm talking about. Robert got a little swagger about him. Robert listen, Robert about that life. Okay? I don't know nothing about Robert. I don't know none of Robert's history. But when I look at Robert, what I see is about that life. That's what I see. I see Robert about that life. That's what I see. Now, he is also a nail tech. Robert, I need to fill in. Can you hook a sister up? That's all I'm saying. All right, let me stop. This is getting long. Let me stop. Let me stop flirting with Robert. Okay, all right. So, that is where sort of the animosity sort of started up with the whole Robert situation, because Eric and Robert and that whole thing. Now, Robert was supposed to come on the retreat. We also find out that Trey Womack was supposed to come on the retreat. And Ariel O'Hara had actually invited Trey, and Reese didn't know about it. Reese was very upset, and Reese basically, you know, ended this particular scene in his feelings. You know, he was pissed off about it. He felt like production was setting him up because he didn't know Trey was supposed to be coming. He was like, I don't want to talk about Trey. I'm not going to talk about Trey. Okay. So it's the next day. They're having breakfast. Trey Howard is cooking breakfast, and baby, they say Trey can't cook. Now listen, I can appreciate the thought. Trey Howard, they said you made the eggs, you made some biscuits, then they said you made some rice. Now let me say this, Reese, in some cultures, and maybe Trey is from, you know, listen, when I went to Hawaii, they have rice with every meal. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, midnight snack, morning snack. Rice is just on the menu. It is always on the menu. So maybe Trey has been influenced. Maybe he's got some Asian culture in him that we don't know about. Okay. And then you said it was sweet rice and you don't like no sweet rice. Well, see, what I grew up on sweet rice, so that don't throw me off either. Now my mama used to make rice cakes for breakfast. Did your mama ever make rice cakes? I mean, clearly not you, Reese, because you said you won't do the rice. But my mama used to make rice cakes for breakfast. If we had rice the night before for dinner, she sure did take that rice out, add a little bit of egg to it, and throw that thing up in the pan, boop, boop, boop. We have rice cakes all the time for breakfast. I don't know. Trey, I'm with you. Trey, we here. Anyway, so while we're having breakfast, Dracember apologizes to Trey Howard. Trey Howard accepts his apology and he apologizes as well. Thank you. Let's move forward. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. Then Dracember wants to confront Eric and say, why would you go back and tell them what I said in reference to the whole stylist statement? Now, Dracember, baby, you was backpedaling, pussy popping on this one, okay? At the end of the day, what you was mad about is that you was talking shit to Eric, and Eric went back and told him what you said. Because let's be clear, we're not gonna play word games. We're not gonna play word games. You were being shady towards Trey Howard when you made the comment about a stylist, and well, I didn't say Trey Howard didn't make money with being a stylist. I said stylists don't make money. Bitch, tell me the difference. What is the difference, Dracember? You was being shady. You was mad that Eric went back and repeated it because you thought you was talking to him and he wasn't gonna say nothing. But please, let's not sit here and play that game that you didn't mean it to be shady, because you absolutely meant it to be shady. Then you went on to say, well, I'm just saying that there's a difference between selling a product. Like, a stylist isn't selling a product. Like, people aren't buying anything. And all I was saying was that I'd rather, make a product like selling a candle rather than a stylist. Child, Dre Simba, listen, you're too intelligent for me to entertain the fact that you don't understand what you said was shady and that you knew what the fuck you meant. Let's be clear. And again, you are too intelligent, Dre Simba. I'm not playing this game with you, sir. You know good and damn well that there are stylists out there that make thousands of dollars a day. Thousands of dollars a day. You know that. Stop it. Stop it. You're being shady. And then you even tried to use Dior, talking about something. I mean, you're a hairstylist, and I think somewhere in the middle, you realized that what you were saying wasn't about to make no sense, so you just sort of kind of stopped and just let it fall. And so Eric was defending himself, and he was like, wait a minute, but you said it. Like, all I did was repeat what you said. Like, don't come for me. And you did, and it was, and moving on. Well, then Dior took that as an opportunity to address the Robert comment. Dior, I love you down. I love you, boots. I do. Dior, I love you, boo. But it wasn't that deep. It just wasn't that deep. Like, it was a shady ass comment that he made, that he made around the wrong people. It was what it was. At the end of the day, most people, now listen, I've been getting my nails done since high school, and I ain't never had a nail tech with a grill. That don't mean it's a problem. That don't mean I would have an issue with it. If you know how to do my damn nails and they come out looking cute, I don't give a fuck what you got in your mouth, okay? But let's be clear. The average nail tech don't look like Robert. You know that, Dior. Was Eric being shady? He was. Was it that serious? It wasn't. And it did turn into a whole conversation. Then Reese started bringing up stuff that I'm assuming is going to be on this season of Chasing Dallas. Now, on one hand, I'm here for it. Cross promote. I ain't mad at you. Get us hyped and ready for Chasing Dallas. I'm here for it. The other hand, you talking about shit we don't know nothing about. So now as a viewer, I'm lost because you bringing up stuff that don't have nothing to do with anything we have seen. Now, unlike the last comment, you gave us a flashback moment. You went back and you explained what you was talking about. Here, you didn't. You just started talking about he was mad because he didn't come to the pop-up shop and then he was slaying you. Now, I'm going to say this, Reese, again. I love you, girl. But this one I'm going to say, Reese, let's not start this. I'm making an assumption. So, no, I shouldn't say that because I'm going to make an assumption and I won't make an ass out of myself. So, I'm not even going to say what I'm going to say. But here's where I'm going to come back around to Ariel O'Hare. Ariel, the whole time, she is eating her breakfast and she is commentating to Reese talking about, so this is where it's get good. Oh, it's good now. Ooh, look at this. He backpedaling and pussy popping. There's some good stuff right here. Now, watch it. Watch it right here. Ariel was hilarious in this scene. Hilarious. Do you hear me? Bitch, did I tell you last week your confessional was sickening? Ariel, your confessional was sickening. Okay? I'm here for it. That purple? Yes, girl. I'm here for it. And then at the end, Ariel, because Eric made a comment about Reese, you my friend, and I would expect you, if anybody, to defend me. Why Ariel was like, that's your friend. We don't know him. What kind of friend he? We don't know him. You ain't put him around no more. Nowhere. We your friends. We don't know him. I need to do some investigating. I said, you know what, Ariel, hilarious. I don't know what you do the rest of the season. I mean, on the rest of the retreat, and I damn sure don't know what you do this season of Chasing Dallas. But baby, in this episode, you gave me a good Kiki. A good Kiki. Okay? Anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.